Have you ever noticed how sleep fundamentally changes after a certain age? You used to drift off instantly, but now you're often awake at 4 a.m., feeling anything but rested. If you're over 70, or caring for someone who is, these restless nights are more than just annoying. As a doctor with decades of experience, I've seen how our normal senior sleep patterns can quietly undermine heart health, memory, and even longevity. In this video, we'll expose why sleep changes, what's truly normal, and 5 common habits that do more harm than good. Stick around, because a surprising, simple sleep tip at the end could transform your nights and help you live longer, stronger, and healthier. Problem number 1. Chronic sleep deprivation. First up, let's talk about the silent drain of chronic sleep deprivation. That sneaky enemy that creeps in when you consistently get less sleep than your body truly needs, even if you feel like you're fine. Just like our friend Arthur Jenkins, from the beginning of our chat. What Arthur didn't realize, and what scientific research has illuminated with striking clarity, is that chronic sleep deprivation, even when it feels normal, can insidiously undermine the body in ways that manifest over time. Consistently getting less than the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep for seniors over 70 can impair physical balance, slow down reaction times, weaken muscle strength, and diminish cognitive acuity. For years, Arthur's body had been silently accumulating the toll of insufficient sleep. This isn't just about feeling a little tired, you see. It's about our body's fundamental systems, from our hard-working muscles to our precious brain, not getting the nightly repair work they desperately need. As we age, our bodies become a little less forgiving. That sleep debt, well, it catches up faster, impacting everything from how steady we are on our feet to how quickly we can truly think. All of which, sadly, elevate the risk of falls, just like the one that sent Arthur to the hospital. You know those little stumbles? The feeling of being a bit off balance? Or just not reacting as quickly as you used to. Those could be silent alarms from your body screaming for more rest. They truly are. And it's not just anecdotal. A 2018 study published in the prestigious Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that older adults who sleep less than 6 hours per night face a 30% higher likelihood of sustaining a fall-related injury compared to those who achieve adequate rest. For Arthur, that tangled garden hose wasn't merely a momentary hazard. Oh no. It was the culmination of years of sleep debt that had quietly eroded his physical stability, leaving him vulnerable in a way he never anticipated. This isn't just about Arthur's story. I've seen it time and again in my practice, in the lives of so many wonderful seniors just like you. So, what can be done to address this silent epidemic of sleep deprivation among seniors? A practical starting point, a simple first step, is to cultivate awareness by tracking your sleep patterns for just 1 week. Keep a detailed sleep log. Note the exact time you go to bed, how often you wake during the night, how long it takes to fall back asleep, and most importantly, how you genuinely feel upon waking. Are you groggy, forgetful, or just completely drained of energy? These are warning signs, folks. Clear signals that your body may be craving better quality sleep. If you're caring for a loved one, please encourage them to track their sleep or observe their habits closely and gently. This kind of insight is critical because sleep isn't just about the hours spent with eyes closed. No, it's about what the body and brain accomplish during those precious hours of rest. By identifying these patterns and addressing any disruptions, seniors and their caregivers can take meaningful, empowering steps toward restoring the truly restorative power of sleep. Problem number 2. Poor sleep quality. Now, let's turn to another compelling story that illuminates a different but equally vital dimension of sleep, its quality. Meet Grace Peterson, a 78-year-old retired school teacher whose warmth, sharp intellect, and generous spirit have made her a beloved figure in her community. Grace would typically retire to bed at 10 p.m. and rise at 6 a.m., consistently clocking what appeared to be 8 hours of sleep. By all appearances, her sleep habits seemed ideal. Yet, in recent months, Grace felt a subtle but persistent shift in her well-being. Her mornings were shrouded in a fog of fatigue. Her once razor-sharp memory had grown less dependable, and she even noticed an uncharacteristic edge of irritability creeping into her interactions. The root of Grace's struggles, as I discovered, lay not in the quantity of her sleep, but squarely in its quality. Specifically, the lack of deep restorative sleep, which we doctors call slow-wave sleep. This critical stage, which occurs predominantly in the early hours of the night, is when your brain works its magic, consolidating memories, processing emotions, and repairing neural connections. It's also when your body repairs tissues, strengthens the immune system, and regulates crucial hormones. As we age, however, the time spent in slow-wave sleep naturally declines by as much as 40% after age 70, according to a 2019 study in Nature Communications. For Grace, her 8 hours in bed were frequently interrupted by restless awakenings. She'd shift positions to ease aching joint discomfort, be startled awake by vivid dreams, or simply lie in the dark, unable to drift back to sleep. These disruptions prevented her brain and body from reaping the full benefits of deep sleep, leaving her mentally foggy, physically drained, and at heightened risk for serious health conditions such as dementia, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure. Many seniors, like Grace, mistakenly assume that simply logging 8 hours in bed guarantees adequate rest. But not all sleep is created equal, my friends. Frequent nighttime awakenings, restless tossing and turning, or excessive daytime sleepiness are telltale signs that deep, restorative sleep is being compromised. The culprits behind poor sleep quality are often surprisingly addressable. Late-night exposure to blue light from smartphones, tablets, or televisions, for example, suppresses melatonin production, making it harder to fall and stay asleep. Inconsistent bedtimes confuse your body's internal clock, disrupting your natural circadian rhythms. And an unsuitable sleep environment, one that's too warm, too noisy, or too bright, can also fragment sleep. For instance, a 2021 study in sleep found that background noise from a television left on during the night can reduce time spent in slow-wave sleep by up to 20%, robbing the body of its most restorative phase. To enhance sleep quality, seniors can adopt simple yet powerful strategies. Establishing a consistent bedtime routine is paramount. About an hour before bed, power down all screens, your phone, your tablet, the TV, and dim the lights to mimic the natural transition to night, signaling to your brain that it's time to wind down. Engage in calming activities such as reading a light novel, listening to soothing music, or practicing gentle stretches or meditation. Optimize the bedroom environment for sleep. Maintain a cool temperature, ideally around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Use blackout curtains to block external light, and consider a white noise machine to mask disruptive sounds. For Grace, these changes proved transformative. After replacing her late-night TV habit with a brief guided meditation and installing a small fan to keep her bedroom cool, she began waking up feeling refreshed, her mind clearer, and her mood noticeably brighter. Quality sleep isn't about chasing more hours in bed. It's about ensuring that every hour spent sleeping is restorative, rejuvenating, and truly purposeful. Problem number 3. Excessive napping. Next, let's look at a habit many of us seniors fall into, often thinking it's harmless: excessive napping. Meet Frank Miller, an 82-year-old retired postman whose life was shaped by decades of trudging through rain, snow, and blistering heat to deliver mail. Now in retirement, his steps are slower, his gait more cautious, but his days are marked by a new habit: frequent, lengthy naps. Frank would doze off 3 times a day. Once in late morning, slumped in his worn leather recliner, again after lunch, sprawled on the couch, and sometimes a third time before dinner, nodding off in the fading light. "I don't sleep well at night," he'd explain to his concerned daughter, Kathy. "So, I catch up during the day." It seems like a reasonable solution. After all, rest is rest, isn't it? But Kathy had noticed troubling changes in her father. He was forgetting appointments, misplacing his keys, and struggling to recall the names of lifelong neighbors. It wasn't just old age creeping in. Excessive napping, particularly naps longer than 90 minutes or taken late in the day, can wreak havoc on nighttime sleep by disrupting your body's natural circadian rhythm, that intricate internal clock that regulates sleep and wakefulness. For Frank, those long, frequent naps were fragmenting his nighttime sleep, reducing the time his brain spent in deep restorative stages like slow-wave sleep and REM sleep. These stages are critical for memory consolidation, emotional regulation, and physical repair. The result was a vicious cycle. Poor nighttime sleep fueled daytime fatigue, prompting more napping, which further eroded the quality of his nighttime rest. Over time, this cycle not only sapped his energy but also contributed to the cognitive fog that worried his family. Science backs this up. A 2020 study published in Alzheimer's and Dementia found that older adults who engage in excessive napping, defined as more than an hour daily, are up to 50% more likely to exhibit signs of cognitive decline over time, including memory lapses and difficulty concentrating. Now, naps aren't inherently bad. Let me be clear. A well-timed nap of 20 to 30 minutes in the early afternoon, ideally between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., can actually enhance alertness, improve mood, and boost cognitive performance without interfering with nighttime sleep. This type of nap, often called a power nap, aligns perfectly with the body's natural dip in alertness, allowing the brain to complete a single sleep cycle without dipping into deeper stages that suppress the overall sleep drive. The key, you see, lies in timing and duration. Napping too late in the day, after 3 p.m., or for too long, beyond 90 minutes, can reduce your body's natural pressure to sleep at night, making it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep. Frank's multiple extended naps were throwing his entire sleep architecture into disarray, leaving him caught in a loop of exhaustion and cognitive decline. Frank's doctor suspected there might be more to his poor nighttime sleep than just napping habits. And he was right. Up to 30% of older adults suffer from sleep apnea, a condition characterized by repeated pauses in breathing during sleep, which fragments rest and leaves individuals exhausted during the day. These breathing interruptions, often accompanied by loud snoring or gasping, prevent the brain from reaching those deep sleep stages, leading to excessive daytime sleepiness and a reliance on naps. After a sleep study confirmed that Frank had mild obstructive sleep apnea, his doctor prescribed a continuous positive airway pressure, or CPAP, machine. This device delivers a steady stream of air to keep the airways open during sleep. Alongside this, Frank was advised to limit naps to one 20-minute session before 2 p.m., ideally in a quiet, comfortable setting to avoid oversleeping. Within weeks of using the CPAP machine and adhering to the napping guidelines, Frank's nighttime sleep improved dramatically. He woke feeling refreshed, his daytime naps dwindled to a single brief rest, and his memory lapses became less frequent. For those who rely on frequent naps, it's truly worth investigating whether an underlying issue like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or even poor sleep hygiene is truly driving that daytime fatigue. A sleep study or consultation with a specialist can uncover these hidden disruptors, paving the way for better rest. Problem number 4. Circadian rhythm misalignment. Now, let's meet Patricia Davis, an 81-year-old retired librarian whose life was once anchored by the comforting predictability of routine. For decades, Patricia's evenings followed a familiar cadence. Dinner at 6 p.m., a crossword puzzle or an episode of her favorite mystery show, then bed by 10 p.m. She'd wake at 6 a.m., refreshed and ready to tackle the day. But over the past year, Patricia's internal clock had begun to drift. She found herself yawning by 6:30 p.m., nodding off by 8 p.m., and then waking abruptly at 4 a.m., lying awake as the world outside remained cloaked in darkness. Despite clocking 8 hours of sleep, she felt perpetually drained. Her days were marked by fatigue, irritability, and a creeping sense of frustration. This isn't just a quirky shift in habits. No, it's a condition known as advanced sleep phase syndrome, a common circadian rhythm disorder in older adults where the body's sleep-wake cycle shifts earlier, misaligning with the natural day-night cycle. The circadian rhythm, that incredible 24-hour internal clock we all have, is regulated by external cues like light exposure and internal signals like melatonin production. As we age, this system becomes less robust. Melatonin levels naturally decline, reducing the brain's ability to signal sleep onset, while reduced exposure to natural light, particularly for seniors who spend more time indoors, weakens this crucial circadian anchor. A 2022 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that up to 40% of adults over 70 experience some form of circadian misalignment, leading to early bedtimes, early awakenings, and persistent daytime fatigue. For Patricia, this misalignment meant her body was out of sync with her lifestyle, leaving her exhausted despite seemingly adequate sleep hours. Early awakenings at 4 a.m. also exposed her to prolonged periods of wakefulness in the dark, which can exacerbate feelings of anxiety and disrupt emotional well-being. Resetting that internal circadian clock requires strategic interventions. And guess what? Light exposure is the most powerful tool we have. Morning sunlight, rich in blue wavelengths, signals to the brain that it's time to be awake, helping to firmly anchor your circadian rhythm. Spending 15 to 30 minutes outside each morning, ideally within 2 hours of waking and without sunglasses, allows your eyes to absorb natural light, boosting alertness and delaying the onset of evening sleepiness. Conversely, evening exposure to bright lights, especially blue light from screens like your phone, tablet, or TV, can suppress melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep at your desired bedtime. Patricia's doctor recommended a two-pronged approach: morning walks in her neighborhood park to soak up natural light, and a screen-free evening routine. She swapped her post-dinner TV habit for reading a novel under a soft, warm-toned lamp and began dimming her home's lights after 7 p.m. to mimic the natural fading of daylight. Within a few weeks, Patricia's sleep schedule began to shift later, with bedtimes closer to 9:30 p.m. and wake-ups around 5:30 a.m., aligning much better with her lifestyle. Her energy levels improved, and that morning fog of fatigue finally lifted. For those considering melatonin supplements to address circadian issues, caution is warranted. While melatonin can help regulate sleep timing, its effectiveness depends on precise timing and dosage. Typically 0.5 to 3 milligrams taken 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Incorrect use, such as taking it too late or in excessive doses, can actually exacerbate circadian misalignment or cause daytime drowsiness. Consulting a doctor or sleep specialist is crucial to ensure proper use. Patricia's success came not from supplements but from lifestyle changes that harness the body's natural rhythms, proving that small, intentional adjustments can yield profound results. Problem number 5. Medications and sleep disruption. Finally, let's consider Susan White, a 76-year-old widow who approaches her health with meticulous care. Susan never misses a doctor's appointment, keeps her medications organized in a brightly colored pillbox, and follows her doctor's orders to the letter. After a minor heart scare last year, her cardiologist prescribed a beta blocker to manage her blood pressure and protect her heart. Susan dutifully took the medication each night, but soon noticed troubling changes. She'd wake up sweating, her heart racing, unable to settle back into sleep. By morning, she felt dizzy, anxious, and utterly drained. Like many seniors, she assumed these symptoms were simply a byproduct of aging, just another thing to accept. But the true culprit was her medication, silently sabotaging her sleep. Medications are a common yet often overlooked disruptor of sleep in older adults. A 2023 study in The Gerontologist revealed that over 60% of seniors take at least one medication that can interfere with sleep. Beta blockers, commonly prescribed for heart conditions, can suppress melatonin production, making it harder to fall or stay asleep. Diuretics, used to manage blood pressure or heart failure, increase nighttime urination, which we call nocturia, forcing seniors to wake multiple times to use the bathroom. Certain antidepressants, painkillers, and even over-the-counter allergy medications containing antihistamines can disrupt REM sleep, that critical stage for memory consolidation and emotional regulation. When seniors take multiple medications, a condition known as polypharmacy, these effects can compound, creating a perfect storm of sleep disruption. For Susan, the combination of her beta blockers' melatonin suppression and her diuretics nocturia was truly fragmenting her sleep, leaving her exhausted and emotionally unsteady. The solution wasn't to abandon her medications. Never. But to optimize their timing and explore alternatives. Susan's doctor adjusted her regimen, moving her beta blocker to the morning to minimize its impact on melatonin production and scheduling her diuretic earlier in the day to reduce those troublesome nighttime bathroom trips. Within days, Susan's nighttime awakenings dropped from 3 or 4 to just 1, and her morning dizziness and anxiety noticeably subsided. For seniors experiencing similar issues, a candid conversation with your doctor or pharmacist is absolutely essential. Key questions to ask include, could my medications be affecting my sleep? Is there an optimal time to take them? Are there alternative drugs with fewer sleep-related side effects? In some cases, switching to a different medication or adjusting the dose can make a significant difference without compromising your treatment. For example, newer beta blockers with less impact on melatonin or non-diuretic blood pressure medications may be viable options. Pharmacists, those unsung heroes, can also review medication interactions to identify hidden culprits you might never have considered. As we wrap up, we've explored 5 critical habits that can truly transform our golden years, making every day count. But knowledge, as they say, is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important question for you, one that truly matters. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself, starting today, after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I will dim the lights an hour before bed, or I will talk to my doctor about my medications, or even, I will try that 20-minute power nap tomorrow. Please, share your personal commitment in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to take that crucial first step. Your words, your actions, can truly make a difference for someone else in this wonderful community. And if you found real value and inspiration in our time together, please show your support by giving this video a hearty thumbs up. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, always gaining new wisdom and never missing another video full of life-changing insights, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a vibrant community dedicated to living our best lives together. Finally, think of just one person, a friend, a family member, who needs to hear this message today, and please share this video with them. You might just change their life for the better. Thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.